Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Adam Ellis.
It's no secret that Microsoft's Xbox One hasn't quite gone according to plan. The console is well behind the record-breaking PS4, although it's selling better than the 360 did, but when you compare it to the PS4, because the PS4 is selling so well, it doesn't look great. It's been having trouble landing new exclusives, and as we covered in another read today, gamers just aren't as interested in it from a hype perspective, and journalists just aren't covering it that much.
And almost 4 years after they unveiled the console, Microsoft may finally be admitting that they sort of botched the system's launch.
Oh, really? You think? So that probably doesn't feel good. I know those things are hard to admit. Also, it was done under another boss. So this Xbox mea culpa comes from a LinkedIn blog post from Microsoft Corporate Vice President for Windows and Devices, Yusuf Mehdi, who wrote about the company's upcoming E3 plans as well as the challenges they faced getting to this point in the generation.
After talking about how great E3 is going to be, Mehdi wrote, "With our initial announcement of Xbox One and our desire to deliver breakthroughs in gaming and entertainment, the team made a few key decisions regarding connectivity requirements and how games would be purchased that didn't land well with fans, to put it lightly."
If you're wondering what he's talking about, it's that always online thing. He doesn't want to say the word, but that's what he's talking about. Mehdi went on to say, while the intent was good, we imagined a new set of benefits such as easier roaming, family sharing, and new ways to try and buy games. We didn't deliver what our fans wanted.
That is putting it lightly.
A little bit, yes.
Mehdi is of course referring here to the innovative yet controversial way the Xbox One was originally going to handle games. Microsoft first revealed their big dreams for the console and its family sharing capabilities back in 2013 in an event that did not go over well at all with fans.
Yeah, also putting it mildly. There, at that event, they announced a number of features they thought would be really exciting for gamers, like the idea that it would store disc-based games on your console digitally, meaning you could access them from anywhere without needing the physical copy. This same system would also allow for family sharing, giving your family unlimited access to games remotely as well, not just on the same console that you're all sharing.
But this level of sharing also came with an unprecedented amount of authentication for consoles, also known to gamers as DRM.
Oh god.
Which led to a few problems, especially when it came to reselling games or buying used games.
Yes. Following the announcement, Xbox executives gave confusing, frequently conflicting answers about what many considered to be an aggressive and fairly unprecedented version of console DRM, and suddenly, it was too late. Gamers turned on Microsoft really quickly, and it was hard for them to do any meaningful damage control because no one wanted to hear what they had to say.
Yep, they tried about 2 weeks later with a blog post that caused even more problems. In that post, Microsoft stated, "We designed the Xbox One so game publishers can enable you to trade in your games at participating retailers. Microsoft does not charge a platform fee to retailers, publishers, or consumers for enabling transfer of those games."
But in the same post, they left a few other little bombs that didn't sit so well, going on to say third-party publishers may opt in or out of supporting game resale and may set up business terms or transfer fees with retailers. I wonder why people were upset.
So that meant publishers, if they wanted, could block your attempt to give your games away or even sell them back to retailers. Plus, the Xbox One needed to always be online to verify if your digital game libraries was legal or not.
Right, and considering how much the game publishers in general hate reselling games and the used games business because that's a sale that they don't see a cut of. Yeah, I can see why most of them probably would have wanted to disable that or severely charge or curtail the practice. And then given how some of Xbox Live's recent problems have been, maybe a good thing the system didn't go through. Last week, Microsoft experienced some major outages where users couldn't even access their digital games. It was a mess.
After even more backlash from that 2013 blog post, Microsoft eventually reversed all of their early plans for the system and made it into the regular old console we know today. Some would argue that early bad press about Xbox One caused a ripple that damaged the console's chances long term.
I mean, I would say that's
I would
pretty
absolutely
firm.
agree. I was
Lots
a 360 person, and then I was like, nah, I'm a PS4 person now. Once a narrative is written, it's very hard to change perception. We saw the same thing with the PS3's launch in the early part of last generation.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see Microsoft being so introspective about all this because it isn't the first time in recent weeks that they've owned up to a couple of problems with the console. Last week, Xbox boss Phil Spencer tweeted to some fans that they've definitely had a problem with exclusives and their release cadence, and that they need to do a better job of balancing new games in the future, since we're all noticing, when's the next Xbox exclusive?
Scalebound, right? Right? No? Oh, they canceled that one. Great. According to Mehdi, all of that grumbling about Xbox One has taught them some important lessons about putting fans first. In the recent blog post, he went on to write, "My learning is that you cannot create fans. As our team has embarked on the journey to build a fan-centric culture at Microsoft, I have learned so much about how to focus our efforts."
So as a result, it looks like Microsoft has been doing a lot of pivoting, a lot of soul searching over the last few years, which I'm sure has helped by having Phil Spencer on board as a new boss with a new direction. You note that Kinect is never said anymore, whereas when they launched it, it was like a Kinect with every Xbox.
Xbox on, Xbox off, yes.
I still like my Kinect. I do like to talk to it. Well, so while all of those early plans for the Xbox One did offer a couple benefits for gamers, if you like talking to your consoles and stuff, it was clear that many of the initiatives mostly benefited game publishers and by extension Microsoft rather than the actual gamers.
The unfortunate part of all this is while Microsoft's original unveiling and handling of the controversy weren't top-notch, to put it lightly again, some of the original goals for the system did offer some unique flexibility when it comes to console gaming.
Right, like lending games out or being able to digitally resell, all that sort of stuff could have been cool, it just wasn't worth the trade-offs that were in place. But as we all remember, the execution, not there, just not there, partially because of the aforementioned problems with the resale and the used games and all that, but also because in many parts of the world, online access and connectivity still questionable. You get a lot of countries that have download limits on how much people can do per month. And so those 50 plus gig updates, I'm looking at you, Dishonored too, just aren't always gonna fly.
So, 4 years later, are Microsoft's original goals for the Xbox One any closer to reality? Ars Technica actually had a fairly interesting piece about that question this week, where writer Kyle Orland did something of an unofficial survey to ask gamers if they'd consider a discless console in 2017.
And it seems like for many gamers, the results are still the same as they were a few years back. Despite PC leaving physical games well in the past, it seems there are large portions of console gamers who just aren't really interested in moving to an all-digital world, understandably, for a lot of reasons. According to Orland, even when gamers were presented with the option of paying as much as $50 less for a disk drive-less console, gamers felt like the money they'd save through resell and used games far outweighed an initially lower price tag on the console.
Hard to argue with that. So all blunders aside, we do have to give credit to Microsoft here, as some of these introspections have resulted in some pretty cool programs for gamers in recent months. The Xbox Play Anywhere initiative, for example, which offers access to games' PC versions at no extra cost, with the shared save data and sometimes even crossplay.
I played, what was the game that I played? What did I play?
Recore.
Oh yeah.
Recore, and I played Gears of War.
Yeah, so I played Recore that way, and it was kind of cool being able to move to a PC and then back to the console on the couch and then back to a PC, and it was fairly seamless. It was a little bit weird to set up.
As a PC gamer, it does de-incentivize me from buying an Xbox because the exclusives I want to play are on the PC, which is weird. Plus, Microsoft announced the Xbox Game Pass earlier this month, which gives unlimited access to more than 100 games for just $10 a month.
Now, if they could just get some exclusive new games, they'd be in a much better place. Hopefully, E3 will give us a better look at some of those. We're talking about Crackdown 3, and whether or not Microsoft can accomplish what Mehdi says in his blog post, which is putting gamers first and making a great product. Gamers first. Gamers, not game publishers.
What do you guys think about Microsoft admitting to goofing up the initial Xbox One plans? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on Microsoft's 2017 E3 plans for Xbox, of which there will be many. Like this video and subscribe to the know.
You have to earn them. As our team has embarked on the It's gonna be one of those sentences.
Third party pub.
After even more backlash from that Microsoft, some would argue that bad press.